Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
So check it out. The D6 Squad has merch now. We got hoodies, tees, mugs, whatever you need. Check it out. Link in the description. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. This one is going to be about Rashod Bateman. And listen, I've gotten a chance to look at more and more of his tape. And as I dive deeper into this, this is pretty much the same with more receiver prospects. A lot of these guys are moving up my board. There's no combine to kind of cloud things. A lot of these receiver prospects are really moving up the board. And I think that, listen, before I give you any of my conclusions on anybody, let's just get into this Rashod Bateman film session. The first thing I want you all to understand is that he's really a physical threat. He's got all the physical tools. He's 6'2". He ran a 4.45 coming out of high school. Coming out of high school, he ran a 4.45. He's 209. He's solid. He's had a 1,200-yard season with 11 touchdowns. This past season, he only played 5 games because of everything going on in the world. Some teams didn't play the entire season, but he was able to get 472 yards, only 13 yards per catch. 2019, he had 20.3 yards a catch, which is ridiculous. That is bonkers. But let me all just show you first off just the athlete that he is, that he can just out-athlete people. So you see him here circled at the bottom of the screen. Watch him come off the line. He's going to come off this line, and he's square with this corner. And as soon as he gets this corner to kind of really sit down, he's just going to just explode out of this and just get to the outside. And this is not really anything technical. This isn't anything really technical. He's just kind of in a hand fighting, and he just leaves him. And this is what he can do. I mean, he doesn't get too much separation because there's only so much of the field there, and you know you got the safety over the top, so you're not going to outrun the coverage into the safety zone. But he pretty much just gets right there, right to that sweet spot, right exactly where you need it. And he makes a great back shoulder catch. Kind of hard to see from this angle, with this tape. It's all 22 tape. But he catches this back shoulder. So this just shows you a little bit of the explosiveness that he has. Because that's the thing that really jumps off the tape when you watch Rashod Bateman is his explosiveness. Now, I'll go back to the more explosive kind of, crazy plays down the field. But first, let's look at some of his route running, because usually when you have someone that's 6'2", he's got the speed, he's got the size. I mean, DeVonta Smith is about 35 pounds, almost 40 pounds probably, lighter than him. I mean, no slight on DeVonta Smith, but this dude has got the size. Can he run routes, though? And Rashod Bateman, surprisingly, is sound in running routes. So he's right here at the left of your screen, and he's going to run a corner route, basically a C route. And he's going to, basically, if you can see my mouse, basically just going to run a C route this way. And he's going to create separation. So let's watch. Watch him. I mean, I kind of like, there's different styles of route running. Some receivers like to do like the extra head fake, and it looks all flashy. And it looks like, like the Allen Iverson crossover. Allen Iverson, he has a flashy crossover. A lot of guys have effective crossovers, but it's not flashy. Well, Rashod Bateman's crossover isn't flashy. So you're going to see him break to the inside full speed. At this point, the DB is like, okay, I've got good leverage. If the quarterback goes here, I can kind of break on the ball. And watch him flip the hips. Get down low, which is the most important thing when you're cutting, when you're making these cuts, is to get down low, drop your hips, and he's gonna get back to the outside and create separation, and get 2 feet down. So let's watch Rashod Bateman here work against the zone, and he's so great at selling that he's gonna go one direction, and being able to quickly change to the other direction, and using his explosiveness and his natural gifts with a lot of polish. So he's going to come off the ball, outside, inside. And at this point, I mean, he's found the hole in the zone, and it's because he was able to really sell getting to the outside, coming outside, inside, nice hands, caught it with his hands. That's another thing you like to see. He's very comfortable catching the ball routinely with his hands. He's not a body catcher. Some of these receivers in this class you'll see him catch it with their body, but he's a natural hands catcher, which shows you he really is comfortable catching the ball. Catches it in stride, puts it away, and he's gone. He's getting some more yards. All right, so you see Bateman down at the bottom of your screen with the red circle, and this is the kind of playmaking that can make you some money in the NFL. So he's going to start off on this slant, and just watch the nuance that he runs this slant route with. So he's going to come off kind of like a straight and stick that foot in the ground, get inside, turns the corner around. And that's because he's such a threat to go vertical and get over the top of him, because he knows that he's got one safety in the middle of the field. He's such a threat to get up over the top of him that once he sticks that foot in the ground and plants really hard, he thinks that he's going to start accelerating. He can get inside easily. So at this point, you got 4 or 5 yards of separation, and then he's just going to take that extra step. Boom. Another hands catch. Puts it away. You see the traffic coming. And he's going to make some more guys miss and get about 15 more yards. So you see Bateman at the bottom of the screen again with the red circle. And he's just going to pretty much do something similar to what he did last play. Kind of reminds you of Odell Beckham. Kind of reminds you, there's a lot of great yak receivers in this class, man. Jamar Chase, DeVonta Smith, and Jaylen Waddle are great after the catch. Bateman is great after the catch. Amon-Ra St. Brown is great after the catch. But let's watch Bateman right here get into this slant route. I mean, isn't it so much easier to run these slant routes when you're a threat to go deep? I mean, it's so much more easier. So he's going to clear this linebacker, turn this into a slant, catch the ball, hands catcher, catch the ball, and he's gone. Like, at this point, man, like, there's no point in even showing the whole play. You know it's a house call. And this is because he's so great at running these routes, finding the gaps in the zone, catching the ball with his hands. Because if you catch the ball with your hands, you're able to really catch the ball and keep moving. If he catches it with his body, if that ball hits him in his gut, the momentum of that is going to slow him down. But if he catches it with his hands, like he's doing here, he can always catch the ball and just stay at full speed. And yeah, you heard me mention he is great in the yak yardage. He's great in the yak department. So let's watch him. They're going to throw him this screen right here. It's going to be at the top of your screen. He's going to get the ball, throw him a screenplay. And at this point, he's surrounded. But he's so comfortable with the ball in his hands, he's going to cut upfield. And this is just something that you can't do if you don't have superior athleticism. If you're a slow receiver, you're not leaving people like this. He catches it immediately. You know he's good with the ball in his hand because he knows how to get upfield. He knows how to create that separation with the ball in his hands. And he's just going to turn upfield, leave these guys, leave this dude, and just almost score with the ball. It's almost like a running back with the ball in his hands. And mind you, this is the 4th best receiver in this draft. And he doesn't really make any special moves. It's just all speed. All speed. Makes that one cut. This is literally like, I don't know if you all remember, but there was literally a Lamar Jackson run, probably last year, where he was in the open field and he just made one cut just like that. Except Lamar Jackson scores right there. But this is just more just showing just how he can leave people just with just pure speed. I'm guessing maybe he'll run he's going to run somewhere in the low 4.4s. If he was running a 4.45 coming out of high school, he's probably going to be running a 4.43, 4.42. I don't think he's a 4.3 guy. But would I be surprised if I saw him time out at 4.3? I really wouldn't. I mean, I don't see much, a huge difference between him and Darius Slayton. I mean, probably Slayton has a little bit better top end speed, but his ability to catch and watch how quick he gets to 60. It's just amazing. And you got Bateman again at the bottom of the screen, and this is just showing he's just always a threat to make a play. He's just always a threat to make a play. So he's gonna come out basically just run a streak, and the safety comes from over the top to try to make this tackle and misjudges the ball. And this isn't sped up, people. This isn't sped up. When Bateman catches this ball, he turns on the jets for real. And this is what I'm saying is he's got serious speed. And listen, I could show pretty much a highlight reel of Rashod Bateman. Is he better than the other three wide receivers? Listen, I don't think he's better than Jamar Chase. I don't think he's better than Waddle. Don't think he's better than DeVonta Smith, but he's close. He's really close. I mean, I would go as far as to maybe put him in that same realm of those guys. He's really close. I mean, he doesn't have that SEC pedigree, that national championship game kind of pedigree, 20 touchdowns. He doesn't have all of that. But I would as a prospect, he's up there with them. He really is. And I'm gonna end this film session on this. Rashod Bateman is at the top of the screen. He's gonna run a sluggo route. And man, he's gonna run the sluggo. And just watch the separation. Watch how the corner is playing 10 yards off of him almost. 10 yards back to try to prevent anything going over the top of him. And you're gonna see the safety roll to the middle of the field, and they're showing cover 3 here, and that's a mistake at this point because you basically have he has to pick what side of the field he's gonna play, which kind of makes him have to hesitate. And Bateman here at the top of your screen is gonna run his sluggo, get inside, not even a full real sluggo, but kind of a fake, slight slant, and just outrun him. Just completely outrun him. And the safety has enough time to get over. So you're thinking, okay, this is going to be an interception. He's throwing it up in a double coverage. This is a bad decision. But it's not a bad decision when you have that. Let's just watch this. Let's just watch the athletic freak, the sluggo, the route running, the precision with the route running, and then the acceleration, and then the ability to go up and get the ball out of the air like this. Is ridiculous, man. I mean, look where he took off from. People don't understand, man. These football players, man, at the college and NFL level, people don't understand the athleticism that they have. He's going to jump from the 6-yard line, high point the ball in between two people, and fall into the end zone. If that's not a freak show, I don't know what is. So you all know anytime I see any kind of a Moss play or big play like this, I love to just pause it at that. And man, listen, Rashod Bateman is very, very underrated this year. As I look at more tape of him, I would be fine if the Giants, my team, took him at number 11. I would be absolutely fine with that because he's got the speed. When you draft on traits. Sure, production goes into it, but a lot of players have production in college, like Sam Ehlinger. He has production in college, but he doesn't, it's not the same. You draft on traits. And Rashod Bateman has every single trait that you will want in an NFL number 1 receiver. 6'2", check. Can high point the ball, check. Has top end speed, check. Can run routes, check. Is explosive and can accelerate in the short field, check. Can break tackles, check. He's got every single thing that I think of as a number 1 receiver. Can you guys think of anything else? Soft hands, check. Can run with the ball. Can catch the ball, while running. So Rashod Bateman he's got to be the most underrated prospect in this draft to me. He really may be the most underrated prospect, at least as far as your first round prospects. I think Rashod Bateman is in play. at 11. If the Giants don't go and get, a big free agent wide receiver, and all three of those SEC receivers that are the top three are off the board, do not be surprised if they take Rashod Bateman, because he fits it. He can literally come in. He can literally come in and be that guy. He has all of the skills, all of the tools to do it. He just needs, everybody needs a little bit of season and a little bit of coaching. He kind of had a down year this year, but this is a wacky year. If you look at his 2019, 1,200 yards, 60 catches, 20.3 yards per catch is ridiculous. And I think he can continue to do that in the NFL. And wherever he goes, Rashod Bateman is going to be a problem. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 squad member. If you're a D6 squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.